Welcome to the AMATYC 2018 webinar series. Today's webinar is Preparing the Presenters and Presiders for the Main Attraction with the Conference Committee. My name is Julie Gokelman. I'm the Professional Development Coordinator for AMATYC, and I will be your host today. Please note that the views expressed by the presenter are not necessarily the views of AMATYC. Commercial products mentioned by the presenters are not endorsed by AMATYC. McGraw-Hill is our sponsor of our webinar series this year. Thank you very much, McGraw-Hill. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to the presenters. And I forgot who's going to start first. I think it's Judy. No, it's Honey. My bad.
No, it's Judy.
Oh, it is.
And I saw a question already about how long this is going to last. It'll be anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes, depending on how many questions there are. But as Julie said, feel free to leave. And if you're missing some information, you can catch it on the video.
Thanks, Honey, for jumping in. We are glad that you're joining us, and I assume a few more people will come in. I am Judy Williams, the program coordinator, with an email. You'll be hearing again from Honey in a few minutes, and Arlene Winnington, our presider chair. So we've got our emails up for you if you want to contact us later. And the main attraction, really, of today's webinar is each one of you, because we're thanking you for submitting a proposal and volunteering to be presiders. It's your experience that makes this conference great. So a round of applause. And the agenda for today will give you an overview of the conference, how to get ready for that presentation, when, where to check in, a few comments about our mobile conference app, what the presiders need to do, some details on the poster session, and encouragement for using social media, then on to those question and answers that Julie talked about. So I've got a few pictures of conference people enjoying themselves various times. We will be at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. Really nice place just to relax a little bit, even if we are there for a conference. And you might take advantage of some of the other things that Disney has to offer. And this is a map of the Coronado Springs Resort. Our rooms, as much as possible, will keep us connected to the conference center. So we'll be in the casitas that have the red circle around them. And there's a walkway right here that takes you over to the blue circle, which is the conference center, and also the entrance to register for the hotel. And this is a map of the conference center itself. And when you come in from that walkway, you would come down the stairs, and we'll have floor clings, as always, signs directing you to the registration area, which is right there in the center in front of the big ballrooms. And the south registration area is also signaled out, because if you're doing posters, that's where you'll check in with Honey. And we'll say a little bit more about the other area. The big square to the left is the exhibit hall, which is just on down. It's really a pretty much straight shot all the way down, and all the rooms are very close together and easy to find. So when you come to the registration desk, these are the hours, and I think Honey's going to take over now and tell us a few things about this.
You'll want to check in at the registration desk, and then if you are a presenter or presider, you need to check in with Judy and Darlene as well for some information, a packet from them. If you are a poster presenter, you need to continue down the hallway and check in with me. I don't have as many hours as they do, so when I'm not there, I usually leave a sign-in sheet. And if your poster is already ready to go, all you need to do is let me know that you're here, so that I'm ready to set up for you. I have numbers for each of the posters. You'll know what number you are based, if you look in the program, you'll see if you are PS01, you will have a number 1 to clip on your poster, and we set up in numerical order so that people ahead of time will say, oh, I want to go to poster 17 and 32. We have 50 posters this year, so people will mark what they want to see and then come looking by number. So you have to make sure that you know your number and pick up the right number, and I'll have it there on the table. when we set up on Friday. But just let me know that you're there so I don't worry. The registration hours are here. Now, if you are coming in on Wednesday, you definitely want to be at registration. Judy, is it starting at 6 o'clock? 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, we have a very special guest. His first name is Mickey, and you'll want to be there at 4 o'clock. Bring your family, come and register, take a picture, say hello to us, and I know you really want to see Mickey. That will be from about 4, is it 4 to 5 or 4 to 6?
To be honest, I don't remember that right now.
I know he'll be there at least 4 to 5.
Right, but the webinar we did last week, the Conference 101, I know that Kevin Doctor talked a great deal about when to be there. So I know it starts at 4, it may be 1, or it might be 2 hours.
So if you're there on Wednesday, come and find us. Conference overview, just to give you an idea of what's going to be going on. And again, we thank you the most because people come to meet you and hear you and find out what you have to share and take back to their campuses. We have over 1,200 people registered. We have over 450 people presenting. We have over 150 sessions. And I want to talk about something new we have this year. We have 24 mini sessions, some on some on Thursday and some on Friday. These mini sessions are 25 minutes instead of 50. We have 2 of them in the same room with the same presider, and if possible, they have the same sort of topic that they're talking about. We did this for a couple reasons. People have asked, and people have also asked for time to get lunch. So this way you can get a lunch and pop in for the second mini session, or you can come to the first mini session and pop out for lunch, or you can come to one mini session and pop into another room for a different mini session. We also have something a little bit different, the way we're running our theme sessions this year. Our theme sessions are all going to be at the same time on Thursday morning at 8 o'clock, from 8 to 10. And theme sessions, for example, teacher prep or math intensive, they will have talks for 15 minutes on the same theme. And again, every theme session is working on the same time schedule, so you can pop in from room to room depending on what you want to see or who you want to hear. We have 2 featured presentations. These are selected by the local committee in Florida. They've picked some fabulous speakers, and you'll see that highlighted in the program or on your app. Our regional meeting, since we're on the East Coast, will be Friday lunch this year, and you certainly want to get there for time with people from your area. If you're new to AMATYC or haven't come to a conference before, I think the regional meeting is one of the best places to see how you can get more involved with the organization. We have commercial sessions. They will be listed at different times throughout the conference. And the exhibit hall, of course, one of our favorites. Let's see, do we have a slide on the hours? No. Before the end of this, I will pull out the hours so that I can tell you what they are. I don't have it right in front of me. I'm sorry. But speaking of our exhibit hall, we have 2 corporate partners that we want to thank. Hawks Learning are doing the bags this year that I think they are sponsoring those. I think you will enjoy the good looking bags this year. McGraw-Hill and Hawks are both helping us with the chat and chew session, which this year will be on Friday morning, and they will be providing the goodie rolls for the chat and chew. You still have to bring your own coffee or drink because that is not provided. How you prepare for is this mine?
I think Darlene was going to share some of these things with us and then go on about invitations and what equipment you need.
Okay, well, here we are for presentation preparation. So the first thing when you arrive, you should always check in with Judy and I. We need to know that you are there. We will really be worried if you are not there. We may track you down if we don't know you're there. So once you've checked in with us, you want to go and check your room location. Know which room you're presenting in, get an idea and a feel for the room. You want to know that room size. You want to check out the equipment. Now on this, the equipment is assigned per day. So check with us if you have questions on the equipment. However, the invitation that went out to speak has your equipment that is listed on it. Keep in mind, only that equipment, if you can see that there, only the equipment that has been listed on your invitation will be there. AMATYC does not, and I say not in capital letters, does not provide laptops. So you must bring your own laptop if you're presenting with a laptop. We go back to that previous slide there. We want to make sure that you see here Judy Williams has a new email, and that new email will also be on your Presider instructions. Okay, let's go back to that other slide. Well, we'll continue then. Well, we just said you have to bring your own laptop. When you bring your own laptop, this is what you need to be built into. It's an HDMI output. That's what it looks like. If you don't have that, you must bring your own connector. We usually see Apple products sometimes use a different cable. We also have seen Microsoft Surface use a different cable. I'm sure I didn't hit the whole list, but you are responsible for bringing your laptop and a special cable if you need it.
And excuse me a minute, Darlene, the slide, you had one thing left on it when I moved on, and it was about bringing handouts. Everybody should have gotten an email from Kevin Doctor in the last week or so asking for you to send your materials, and they can be put on the app and they can be put on the web before you even give your presentation. If you're going to bring things to give out, make sure that you have enough for the size room that you're going to be assigned to.
So there is the QR code. That is what you should download. You can use that on a smartphone, on an iPad, on a Surface, a tablet, anything. It's very important you download it, number one, because it's going to help you get around in the conference. It's going to give you all kinds of information about the conference, the sessions, the speakers, the networking. The whole entire program is going to be on that conference app. In fact, download it now. Make your own schedule of the sessions you'd like to see, and you could put them on your own schedule and go back and see them. The conference app also tells you about Wi-Fi availability. By the way, guess what? Free, yes, free. Free Wi-Fi in your rooms and in the meeting area. So you can use those devices and do and complete those session evaluations. All session evaluations will be done through the app electronically. This is important because first, it gives immediate feedback to your speaker of that particular session, and next, it gives feedback to the conference committee. We pour through all of those session evaluations. They are meaningful. It is worth your time. That ensures that we're going to give you the best conference next year based upon those evaluations. Local information is on that app. where to eat, things to do, things to see. And of course, we all know we're going to see a lot of you-know-who, but we can even make reservations. Look at that restaurant list. There's huge amounts of restaurants on there. Anything else that's there? Oh my goodness. Networking, social media, all of those items are there. So we should probably make sure that everybody in the conference that's right here today, there's, let's see, 45 of you in attendance. We should see at a minimum of 45 postings in social media for photos on that app, to say the least.
Whoops, sorry about that. Okay. Darlene, would you please tell us about the presider duties?
Again, first thing, register with, you're going to register at the booth anyway. And a lot of people get confused because they think that if they've registered at the booth, that's all they have to do. Not true. If you are a presenter or a presider, you also have to check in with Judy and myself. We need to know that you are here. If you're not checking in with me and it's getting close to the time that you should be presiding a session, I'm going to find somebody else to take it because I need to know that there's a presider in that room. Judy needs to know that a presenter is there. If not, we need to go to the room and let the attendees know that the session has been canceled. So no last minute scares for us, especially scares, Halloween, pun, ha-ha, and keep us notified. Let us know you're there. Now, one thing that's different this year, we've had some situations in the past where our rooms fill up. We're delighted that you have chosen that session and you're there and you're ready to listen to that speaker. But once the room is filled, the door will need to be closed. We will have a sign up on the podium that will be used through the entire 4 days of the conference. It will be there for the presider. If that room fills, you should take that sign and put it on the outside of the door, signifying that no one else can come in. We have to do that. We're just not big meanies, you can't get in, but there are fire regulations and things that we have to adhere to. So it will be the presider's duty to put that sign on the door that the session is full. The other thing that the presider should do is make sure that you've already introduced yourself to the speaker. Ask the speaker or speakers, are there any things that you would like me to assist with, any materials to hand out, etc. Also, you should then ask the speaker, what kind of a sign would you like me to make where he'd like to give you a 5-minute warning and a 2-minute warning, and just decide between yourselves what that sign is, okay? And have that prepared. You're going to introduce that speaker. At the end, about midway through, you also want to take account of attendance. And in your presider packet, there'll be a place for you to write down how many people that you counted in attendance about midway through that particular session. At the 5-minute warning, important, we move the sign. If you have put the sign on that it was a full session, you need to remove that sign. We don't want that sign to be left and then the next presenter come in and we see the sign is full and nobody's in there, nobody goes because we've got the same sign still there. So remove the sign at the 5-minute warning. Make sure that the speaker ends on time. Thank the attendees. Thank the speakers. They will have certificates of appreciation to give to them. Remind everyone to do the evaluation. Remind them of what session they are in attendance, the number and the title. Remember to put the session full sign back at the podium for the next session. Complete the back of the presider information. We ask you what your opinion of the session was. Was there any commercial part included. We hope not. And what you thought. Would you recommend that speaker? Complete all of that and return it to the registration desk.
And remember that this year there will again be a drawing for free hotel nights in Milwaukee if you do your presider duty and return your paperwork to us.
The poster session this year will be on Friday afternoon, as it always is, but the time's a little different than last year. This is from 2 to 4. Now that's when you poster presenters are required to be in Veracruz C with your poster ready to talk to the people that come through. We do ask that you set up Friday morning by 11 o'clock because we market that as basically visiting hours, that anytime after 11, the posters are there for people to come through. Again, here are my check-in hours, and if I'm not there, I'll leave the sign-in sheet and just initial it so that I know that you're there. I'll be there Wednesday from 4 to 6, and there you see my hours on Thursday. Now Friday, the chat and chew is from 8 to 9. And what I will do after the chat and chew, I will head over to our poster session room, Veracruz C, and I'll have the numbers there and get you ready to set up. You'll see what order we're going to set up in, and I'll help you set up in any way that I can. And anytime from 9:15 on to 11. And there you see, I'm sorry, can you go back, please, Judy?
Sure.
You'll see where we are really right there at the exhibits. And the exhibits, I went back and looked at the hours. The grand opening will be after our keynote speaker on Thursday. That should be about 4:30. It's a very good keynote speaker. You won't want to miss it. And then afterwards, Kevin has another surprise for you. It's not Mickey, it's not Minnie, but he has another surprise for us at the end of the speaker's talk before we head over, or as we head over to the grand opening of the exhibit hall. There are dedicated times as well. This means there's nothing else going on, and you can visit with your publishers if you have questions about textbooks or questions about some things that you use or don't use. You can also do some shopping there. We have some vendors with fun mathematical items. So that would be Friday at 11:10 to 11:45, and then also 1:15 to 2 o'clock. And then Saturday morning after the breakfast session, 10 to 10:45. And speaking of the breakfast session, another thing you'll want to go to, we have breakfast, which will be Mickey Mouse waffles. That's the breakfast if you get there early. And then we have the kind of the meeting, and then another wonderful speaker from the great state of Texas, I might say. And that's where everybody is a winner, because on the tables will be 2 prizes for each person should you get there early. If you don't get there early, I can't guarantee that someone hasn't taken your prize. Okay, one of the reasons you want to check in with me, if you don't have your poster complete, and many people don't, particularly if you're flying to Orlando, I have available supplies for checkout. I have for everyone a trifold poster board. There's the size when it's open and closed. And then I have everything you need to mount what you want to put on it. I have 2-sided tape, 1-sided tape, markers, scissors, thumbtacks, push pins, you name it, and scissors, whiteout if you make a mistake. So just check in with me. I have enough for you to check out, take it to your room, and then bring it back to me so someone else can check it out. If you want to just, I don't know what the setup, some people just come and do it all while if we can find a table near me, you can just do it right there. And then on Friday morning, again, if you need to run off to something, that's fine, just as long as I get your poster in Veracruz C, I can set it up for you. Just, you need to give it to me once you see me there, starting at 9:15. Friday afternoon, please take it down. If you don't want anything, you can just fold it over and give it to me, and I will dispose of it in the best way that I can. If there's some things that if you want to take the whole thing home, you can, or if there are just some things that you want to take off it, that's fine as well. There are no plugs for you to plug anything in. If you're running a computer or a laptop, make sure that it is fully charged. Also, make sure there's no commercial presentations, no textbooks or anything like that can be out, and you really can't list them also on your poster. If you have any questions, you have my email. You can email me.
And a couple final comments encouraging you, please use social media to share your experience. If you're using Twitter, our hashtag for the conference is going to be @AMATYC. And if you don't already belong to your regional group, Mid-Atlantic, Northeast, Southwest, whatever region you come from, join that group on Facebook, because your vice president will be giving you lots of information to prepare for the conference. They get there a few days before we arrive, and so sometimes they'll give you some helpful tips about what the weather is like or what they've discovered, something special to do. The app, as Darlene has said, has a place for you to share your photos. And then we also will be making a list and announcements about some Facebook Live opportunities so that you can use them to make your friends back home jealous that they didn't come to the conference this year and make them want to go next year. Okay? And then I think we're ready. If you have questions, Julie will tell us what you're asking in the chat room, and then we'll try to give you answers the best of our ability.
Great. So we do have one that is, oh, I lost it. Wrong piece of paper. Sorry about that. So this came up in the chat window when you were talking about the app. And the question is this: if I have submitted a handout for the app, can I presume that everyone has a copy?
Judy, you want to take this? We can't, I don't know, we can't make assumptions about any attendees. But knowing that it's there is a good thing. They could actually, using Wi-Fi, bring it up on their own device.
But you might want to be prepared for the few people who do not have app on the cell phone yet. Of course, wanting your papers might be a reason for them to download it, but it wouldn't hurt, I guess, to have a few copies to share just in case. Because people then get upset if there is a handout being referred to and they do not have a copy.
Yeah, as a presenter, I would bring a copy of it for everybody, even though it's up there. Definitely. Another one, and I think you addressed this. I think Darlene addressed this with the cables. Will the room have the appropriate cable to connect the PC to the projector? So yes, correct. There's a HDMI cable already in the room that you just connect to your computer. Is that correct, Darlene?
That is correct. We only have the connection for HDMI. If you need a cable other than an HDMI cable, you need to bring that cable with you.
Okay. I think we addressed a little bit of the Wi-Fi, but the question is this: if we're staying at the conference hotel, can we use their Wi-Fi connection for our presentation?
Well, every attendee in the conference area is going to have access to Wi-Fi. However, it's a narrower bandwidth, and if you are planning to show some videos, do something live, you're going to rely upon it in your room, you really want to have requested internet for the presenter, and that would be listed with your equipment if you are going to have that hardwired connection in the room in which you're presenting.
Right, so that's what somebody also asked about, the Wi-Fi access in the conference room itself where you're presenting. So you said you would have dedicated, if they asked for it, just for the presenter, correct?
Yes, a hardwired connection. Everybody should be able to get to the app and to the internet, use Wi-Fi on their cell phones, but it won't be as robust as you might need if you're presenting a video or something.
Okay.
And you go back to that invitation to see if you were given internet access or in the room. All rooms have a projector. Not all rooms have internet. Someone also asked about, can she or he request round tables? The tables have already been ordered. The tablecloths are already set. The rooms have already been set up. Do you know, Judy,
Yes,
if they're round tables?
Every presentation session room is round tables set for 10 people.
Perfect.
Okay, so that is another question that is in the chat box to know the room capacity. So where can the presenters find the room capacity so they can figure out how many handouts to print ahead of time?
In their invitation, there is a list of every room that we're using and what its seating capacity will be.
And on their particular invitation, it tells them what room they are in.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So if there's a room that seats 100, right, and you've got round tables that seat 10, you're looking at 10 tables of 10.
You must be a math professor.
I know. That's good. I think I got it. Let's see.
I saw a question pop up about the chat and chew. What do you need to know?
Yeah.
Again, the chat and chew will have tables with numbers on them. Each table will have like a table decoration with a number stuck in it. And you want to look at the program or on the app and see what number is your presentation if you are a presenter. And then that will be your table for the hour. And the way it works is you will give a talk or lead a discussion for 15 minutes, and then a bell will ring, a cowbell, I might add. 2 cowbells in stereo will ring, and then everybody can move to a different table, or if they want to stay and continue the conversation. What we recommend, if you feel like you need more, we have an impromptu room that you can sign up for and continue the conversation on. That's a room that we have left empty for people to sign up for conversations or things that have come up, something that's a hot topic that you didn't have time to put in a presentation. And you can find that sign up before the conference begins on Wednesday, right by registration. And then afterwards, it will be outside the impromptu room. So you can sign up for a time and have a discussion there. Hopefully that answered the question about chat and chew.
Perfect. You got a yes. You got a yes on that one. We've got one more about the cable stress here. So this person's pretty sure that they have the right cable, but what if he or she is wrong? Is there, what do we do?
I wonder if maybe they weren't here at the very beginning where Darlene showed the picture. If they, at the end of the week, if they watch this presentation again, they'll see the picture of the connector. And then you can just look and know if you have the right one.
And most of the TVs today have an HDMI plug, much like we're going to have. So you can check to see if it is an HDMI. You can look right on the back of your TV set, and that is also an HDMI. Not the cable input, but it says HDMI.
It will be easier for me to watch the webinar again than to get to the back of my TV.
And there is a 20-minute break between sessions, so you want to go in and get yourself set up as soon as possible. And if you run into any kind of a difficulty while you're setting up, trying to get things connected, our AV team is available. Part of the duty of the presider is to come out and tell us that you do need assistance, and then we get somebody to come in, and they're very prompt. Also, another thing that we didn't mention, if you plan to show videos, need some audio to project from your computer, to send out from your computer, every room is large enough. On the podium, there will be a connection to plug into your computer so that you will be amplifying the sound.
Okay, we've got somebody that's got a discrepancy with the capacity. So can they contact one of you? Who would be the best person to
Send me an email with your question.
Okay.
If
So
you tell me, yeah,
send
session number,
Judy,
as much information as possible.
yeah, send Judy that email because they got conflicting reports between 80 and 250, which obviously is a big difference.
Definitely.
Yeah. So somebody else asked, will we have access to the conference rooms on Wednesday so they could try these things out?
The rooms are available. They're set for each day. So
Right, but the equipment's not there, correct?
equipment will not necessarily be in that room on Wednesday, not until a half hour before we begin each day.
Okay. I think you grabbed this when I was still reading, but talking about the audio connections, didn't you just say that you could plug in?
Yes. On the podium in the room, there should be a cable for plugging in for amplification.
And will the speakers have mics?
Yes. When there's a podium, there will also be a room for the mic. Will be a handheld or on the podium.
Okay.
But there will be microphone for the speaker.
Okay, perfect. Somebody also asked about the app.
Yes.
And Beverly said that an email broadcast is going out tomorrow with the app to download like a direct link. But we haven't seen it on the website yet. So,
however, if you go to your smartphone or your tablet and you just go to, if you buy from iTunes, I'm not an i person, but it's iTunes, I believe, and or Android Play Store. If you go there and you do a search for the app, just type in guidebook, install the app. Once the app is installed, just type in AMATYC and all the guidebooks will come up. And this is the 44th for the main attraction.
I'm trying to type that feverishly right now. There we go. So yeah, the app is definitely live. You can get that. A lot ago in the chat, I also linked to the webinar that we did last week for Conference 101, which I know somebody mentioned earlier. And that's got some more information, actually shows you the app. So if you're wanting to look for that, follow that link. I'll go ahead and post it one more time for you.
And that webinar was designed for people who are coming to their first AMATYC conference. So if that describes you, please watch it. You'll get more information, more detailed information.
Right, right. So another question about the sound. Do you need something, another cable for the sound?
No, it is part of the podium to plug into your computer.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, anything else? I've got both the chat window open and the Q&A box. I'm trying to field it all here. Any other questions? It is only 20 to 5, so we've got a little bit more time if you have other questions. I know, I think you guys are just so good that you took care of all of it. Somebody said, what?
I was just going to say, we really look forward to seeing you. And now that you know what the three of us look like, we'll be easy to find in the registration area. So please come and say hello. Let us know that you've arrived safely.
Yeah, yeah. So just a little bit of confusion, it looks like. So they, one question was, do you have a backup connector if your connector is not working? And I think I heard the answer is no. Is that correct? Like, we don't have extra supplies there.
There are a few, but not enough to have one in every room.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, Beverly says, and we always want to listen to what Beverly says because she knows everything. We print your badge at one of the touch screen stations, which is stop 1, before checking in at the presenter and presider window. So she wants us to take care of that first.
Yes, every single person has to print a badge, pick up a bag and a program paperwork. But then if you are presiding or presenting, you have one more stop to see Darlene and me or go find Honey. And also this year, something new. Usually there has been a window or another stop where if you had As a presenter, you got a ribbon that said that, or whatever other duties or roles you're fulfilling, you get a ribbon. This time it will be a self-service ribbon station. So you will pick up the ones that apply to you. They will be printed on your badge just in case you need a refresher. But you go help yourself to what you need. Remember to staple these things on or they will fall off. Okay? And serve yourself, but be neat. Please use the trash cans for the tear-off strips.
Okay, perfect. So we still have cable confusion. I thought we got it. So the HDMI, the question was, so is the HDMI going to be the plug for the sound? And the answer is no. The HDMI is your video part, and then there is a separate audio cable that you're going to plug into your computer. That part's provided.
Right. It's a USB connection.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. I'm trying to.
And where you find the webinar, you can, Julie put it up, the webinar from Webinar 101. You just put that up. You can also go, I saw it on the amatyc.org website, and you can click on it there to pull it up.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to read all the comments.
One other piece of information I learned today,
go ahead.
If you are local and driving onto the property to come to the conference, just tell them that you are coming to the AMATYC conference at the Coronado Springs, and they should direct you on through with no parking fee, and you can park at the conference center. There should be no charge for people driving in for the conference for the day.
Okay, perfect. Somebody asked about power for their laptop. Is there going to be a way to plug your power cord in for your laptop at the podium?
Yeah. Oh, yes. If you're doing a session in one of those rooms, there's a power strip. So whatever you need to plug in, there's plenty of room.
Perfect.
But remember, for the poster session, or if you in the poster session or the chat and two, there is no power outlet available.
Okay. Somebody had a heads up that they're not arriving until after 9 p.m. on Thursday, but they're doing they're going to check in at 7 a.m. on Friday and then do a chat and chew at 8. Do you need to know those kinds of things ahead of time, or like who it is?
No, we just need to see you at 7 o'clock on Thursday.
Friday, right. So the person's coming in
Friday.
On Friday.
Coming in on Thursday? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, if whatever day you're speaking on, that's when we really start looking and getting worried if we haven't seen you yet. But if coming in at 7 that day is fine. When it gets to be 5 till 8 and you're supposed to be talking at 8 o'clock, I get really nervous and run around a lot.
Yeah.
So please help me stay calm and keep my blood pressure down.
There's a couple people that are going to be early risers, it looks like, and checking in at 7 a.m. to make sure that there's no panic going on here.
We will be there to welcome you with open arms.
Yeah. Yeah. Beverly wants to remind everyone still that if you haven't registered, please do so you don't have to wait in line. If you need assistance, you can certainly call the office at 901-333-5643. I'm trying to keep reading. Somebody asked about a Mac. So if you said the sound is a USB, I'm assuming that a USB will plug into a Mac. Correct? I would assume.
I do not know.
I don't know anything about a Mac.
I don't either. I Droid and
Windows.
Any
Mac users out there and attendees who can answer that question for us, since we all seem to be PC people?
Yeah, I think it's just their video.
Yes, it will. Somebody said.
Yes, it will.
Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah, I think the video is just a different adapter on the Mac.
Uh-oh, Connie says it depends on the Mac.
Uh-oh.
So does Dan. Depends on the Mac.
Uh-oh. So I guess it depends.
Well, see if you have a colleague that's coming, that would be helpful if they don't have a Mac.
Oh, it says new ones don't have a USB. You should check your Mac to know for sure. Go to your Apple store.
Thank you, Marv.
Yeah, thank you. And somebody said they use USB-C, which is it's a little bit different shape. So you might need an adapter. So you might want to check that out ahead of time. Let's see. I think that's about it. Oh no, I lied. There's more in the question and answer and question box. Let's see. So somebody said, when would we have been told that we were going to preside? I thought I put in a request to preside, but I don't remember getting an email indicating that I had been selected. It was early, wasn't it?
Yes, it was quite early. All the sessions were assigned. If you were assigned a session, you would have been notified by email. However, with all that said, we have had a lot of cancellations. All my presider packets have already been put together and assembled. So at this point, it would be very difficult for me to switch out a presider. So what I'm telling people is just please come to the booth because we all have got some blanks and need a presider. I will also be sending out a reminder email so that I send out the instructions ahead of time and a reminder of the day, the time, the place that you are been assigned to preside.
Perfect. Okay, I think that's it. I think I just lost you. Yeah, I don't see any other questions coming in, and people are starting to fail off. You've gotten tons of thank yous, ladies, and I want to go ahead and just wrap up the webinar, if I may. I'm going to go ahead and turn that chat window off so I can see what the heck is going on here. I don't want to have a copy and paste fail here. Nope. I lost the window. You know, I thought 2 screens was going to be an awesome thing until I kept losing the stuff between the 2 screens, which happens.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So thank you for participating in today's webinar. If you'd like to support future AMATYC webinars, please consider becoming a member of AMATYC. You can go to bit.ly/join-AMATYC. As mentioned earlier in the webinar, we are on Facebook, and all of the regions have their own Facebook page as well, so please check us out. Recordings of past webinars can be found at bit.ly/AMATYC-webinars. It usually takes me about a week or 2, but we will be in Orlando in 2 weeks, so I'm going to try to make this one speedy for you. Before you leave, if you please would take 2 minutes to evaluate the webinar content and the presenters. I forgot an S there. You can go to bit.ly/AMATYC77. You can scan this QR code, or provided I don't have a copy and paste fail, and I do not, I just put the link in the box for you. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but I'll hang on here in case there are any more questions.